right, thank you for staying with Daybreak. The State of the Nation continues. Honorable Joe Ruto is here, Senator for Murang'a, Honorable David Ochieng, Member of Parliament for Ugenya and leader of MDG, and Honorable Jared Okello, Member of Parliament for Nyando, is also with us here. We're still talking about matters, politics and everything in between there. Joe, it was your turn to respond to this, that this move by the President in the Mount Kenya region shows that he's still the kingpin of the area.
Thank you, Trevor, and I pray that you give me some more latitude because, you know, I'm being bombarded by my two friends
from
one side.
Not lighting the fire.
But who are very sober people, people I do have a lot of respect for. But I want to respond quickly to one point by my friend Jared, that we are justifying ourselves now that we would have wished that the President did not receive big numbers the way he did. I think Jared did not listen to me. I said that we are the people that told our people to come out in large numbers. So for him to say that we would have wished that the numbers were fewer and that now we are trying to justify the heavy turnout, then Jared is contradicting himself, or he is either contradicting himself or he did not listen to what I had said. I had said that, and the Deputy President, the second Deputy President, had actually said this over a week ago, telling people to come out in large numbers. So the case of you know, sour grapes does not appear, does not come in anywhere, because we are the ones that mobilized for the President for our people to get the monetary benefit that, of course, was associated with attending these particular rallies. When he says that we sold our souls, and I had submitted that we'd never sell our souls, I mean, by saying we never sell our souls, it's if we do not believe in you, regardless of what you do to us, we will not support you, regardless of what you do to us. But now, William Ruto, like I had explained earlier, you know, took the opportunity of Uhuru's absence, like I had said. And then the other advantage that he took, he realized he's a very sharp person. You know, people who are crafty are also very sharp. So he realized by his visitations in the mountain, he realized that our people were God-fearing and they were, you know, they were very religious. It is one John S. Mbiti that wrote that Africans are notorious religious. So when William Ruto noted how much we believed in people who are people of faith, he now got into the churches, and every speech that he gave, every rally that he's attended, he started by Bwana Asifiwe. And so, yes, we agree that through his trait of being crafty, yes, we got deceived that we had received a brother in Christ. And so we believed in him. So we did not sell our soul. By selling our soul, I meant selling our soul to somebody we do not believe in. So it is true that he took our soul because we believed in him because of the opportunity that he took and the religious approach. So that one I agree with them, and with Jared here. He actually became one of us, a brother in Christ, of course, but we didn't know that he did not believe in that Christ at all. Now we know. So, you know, my friend David Ochieng, and he's a very experienced politician, and I agree with him, and I respect him a lot. You know, he says that I'm the one that started this problem, and I have dealt with this question very many times, Trevor, even here. You know, David Ochieng, I want to refer you to the Bible. You actually don't even have to read it because everybody was taught this story in their earliest, you know, Sunday school classes. There was a man called Saul.
Correct.
And this Saul is the same man that became Paul, no one ever did evangelization better than Paul, who was Saul. So it doesn't matter that I had a thinking at one particular point in time. I met my Damascus moment. And so I hope this matter is now settled. So it does not mean that because you had this position yesterday that you have to keep, you have to stick there. And David Ochieng, being a very experienced politician, should know that politics is dynamic.
I agree.
And I agree with him on the last point that he said, that if some people come together, others are going to suffer. If some people separate, others are going to suffer. So let him know that it doesn't only apply when it is for his argument. Let him know that politics is dynamic, because Trevor, and I've said it very many times, today William Ruto is working with Raila Amolo Odinga. William Ruto used to call Raila Amolo Odinga for many years a witch. And it is there, everybody knows that.
Correct.
William Ruto called Raila Amolo Odinga for the longest a witch. You know, Raila Amolo Odinga for the longest called William Ruto a thief. In fact, at one time he baptized him the high priest of corruption. And nobody does not know this. William Ruto used to call Raila Odinga the Lord of Poverty. All these things. So, in fact, now if then we are going to go by the argument by David Ochieng that where we come from then matters. It doesn't matter. The dynamics of politics do not matter. Then we are having a government then of a thief and a witch. If we follow David Ochieng's argument. Because no, he says that what we said yesterday must count today. So if yesterday Raila Amolo Odinga called William Ruto a thief, it must count today, according to David Ochieng's argument. He has, if William Ruto called Raila Odinga a witch and a lot of poverty, according to David Ochieng's argument, it must count today. And therefore, I submit, then this government, which is being run by William Ruto and Raila Amolo Odinga, then is a government of a witch and a thief. So that is not a valid argument that because you had this position yesterday, it has to stand today. Now, talking about... you know, we have talked about committees here many times, Trevor. Yeah. And we have had members of parliament arguing that, you know, to be made chair of a committee, you only need to pick nomination papers and do campaign with the members. David Ochieng, the most experienced, but now Senator Manzo has joined us. I think they are the most experienced politicians here. I'm the least experienced because Jared is doing his second term. They have submitted to you and in many other stations that it's just a matter of members, you know, electing you. David Ochieng today here has told you that Dende Nyoro was given the most coveted seat in the National Assembly. Was given. So he does not tell you. And it was in the list of the people that William Ruto gave jobs. And I hope that that is noted somewhere, so that nobody ever comes here to say that it only depends on whether you are able to campaign well with the fellow committee members. Now, he has said, David Ochieng has said, that there are no Luos mobilizing for William Ruto in a mountain, and I totally agree with him. It is the leaders in our region who are mobilizing for William Ruto. But David Ochieng, kindly check the support, the acceptability of the leaders that now you are talking about in the mountain. Just do your independent verification. Because I mean, it is true, there are no Luos, there are no other people from other communities mobilizing for William Ruto. Yeah. It is also true that Rigathi Gachagua, of course, was impeached by very many members of Parliament and the Senate. I mean, members of Parliament, all of us are members of Parliament, from the mountain. It is true. But David Ochieng, do your independent check. I know you are a very intelligent person, and be able to assess the acceptability of those people. The other thing I want to tell them, Trevor, you know these numbers. We also William Ruto receiving a very rousing welcome in Kondele, in Kisumu, you know, and nobody doesn't remember that. Did they translate to votes? So let us not see these mammoth crowds and say now William Ruto is the king of the mountain again because of these crowds. Crowds are there. People will come out. I think I was here the other day with another member of parliament. I forget his name because I want to conclude before my time is up. I mean, and he said that if you go to a market and you are selling a goat in a livestock market, that nobody will even note. But if you bring a monkey, everybody will come to see the monkey, the man selling the monkey. And that is the situation happening in Mount Kenya today. So, Trevor, let people not get excited about these numbers. They have come to see the man who has brought them all this this financial misery. That is the man they want to see, not on TV, but live. And finally, David Ochieng has said that the people had a choice to remain home instead of coming to William Ruto's rallies. But I have said, we told them to come and earn. Our people cannot remain at home and fail to earn. So that was not an option. The option was to come here and earn the money from
We need to switch topics, but let's bring Dan Manzo now. Dan Manzo, Senator from Makueni, is now joining us. We were talking about the reception of President.
Yes, Trevor, thank you. I followed online.
I'll come to you.
And I would like to respond because I've heard everything since the beginning. Yes. And also I've forgiven you for alerting me about this show at 6:30 in the morning. Thank God I'm here. I want to say that I've seen what has happened in the mountain. And the people who voted for William Ruto in the mountain, having been mobilized by Rigathi Gachagua, were 3 million people. The people who have met William Ruto up to now and even up to tomorrow will not get to 30,000. One of the mobilizing factor in central Kenya in this visit is Maina Njenga, who is facing trumped-up charges in several courts in the country and has been mistreated by the same administration of Ruto throughout. And now that he needs assistance in terms of these cases being withdrawn, he has also welcomed the president of the mountain, and we know his followers, and they follow him, and he's also a politician who also runs every time. So this is the mobilizing side of it. And again, also the people of the mountain have come out as requested by their leaders that when you have a visitor, be courteous, even if the visitor is forcing himself on you. It's a political tour. There's no single development William Ruto has done for 2 years. He came to Makueni, promised a stadium when he was deputy president, a few days to the election. After election, he came there, promised housing in 3 days, which never happened. Even mobilized the youth to come and wait for a contractor to complete some old housing outfit, which has remained there for years. There's no single thing Ruto has said, and he has done it, and Kenyans are aware, and they are now used to him. And because elections take place in 5 years, every 5 years, they know elections are coming. I'll tell you the people William Ruto should be looking for. Everybody with a salary in this country is losing money, and the money is not being used for value. It's not being used for development. So everybody with a pay slip, you know how many they are. All the people of the mountain are waiting for him in 2027 to tell, to put him at his place. They want to give him that time and give him an opportunity. In fact, all Kenyans are hoping that he's going to do something, that is going to stop making promises and promises which he will never keep. We know what happened even in Kirinyaga, that in the market he was to come and launch, traders had been pushed out in the rains and their wares destroyed. But you saw, despite being mistreated, they still were kind enough to welcome. And I think that's what it should be. Everywhere the president visits should be welcome, even for those who will not vote for him. And the sad thing is, you can see the only hope for William Ruto is hoping to rig the election. He has allowed young people to take
That's a very wild allegation.
Yes, it is. It's hoping. I'm saying hoping. Hoping.
He has not said that. I don't think that's
He has not said, but I'm saying he's hoping. And part of it, the whole begins with who become the commissioners. We want to see whether the commissioners are Ruto-friendly. We
will get into that conversation also as well, because Wipers raised a concern.
So what we are saying in the mountain should not cheat anybody. That is just 1% of the mountain voters. And that is expected. It is normal. Even us, when you come to Ukambani, we will welcome him, but expect him to complete Twake Dam, which he has taken money away from and is unable to finish. And to at least do a single road. It is time. He has not done a single road in Ukambani. There is a road he came and promised when he was deputy president and said as soon as he was going to become president, he was going to do it. It's called Ukea Emali. He has never done it. And he has no budget for it. And again, Trevor, finally, you cannot have the role of parliament, the role of budgeting, where committee of supply should give all the projects to be done in the country and the money is appropriated. But now you have only the president doing the role of parliament, making roadside declaration and making promises which should be documented at parliament. None of these are documented at parliament, nor budgeted for. So I wonder how they will be implemented.
Oching, finish us this topic, then
yes,
because the new one on the Ruto must go slogan. Yes.
Trevor, there's no way you two and Manzo can take credit for the people attending the president's rallies and still discredit those rallies. You cannot be saying, we told them to go, then say, it's wrong for them to go.
No.
You two and Manzo here hoped that people don't go. But because people have turned up for these rallies, they now are saying, I mean, what madness is this? Number two, Trevor, something that Ruto has said this morning that is really unfortunate. Then Ruto, you're a very intelligent man. I know he's a very wise man. What you say today must matter tomorrow. Consistency is very important.
You cannot tell the nation that what you said yesterday should not matter. What should matter is what you've said this morning. What kind of debate would this be? That Ruto can come to TV today and say I don't like William Ruto, and then tomorrow he come and claim that, you know, before I was Saul, now I'm Paul, I can say anything I like. Politicians must also learn to be consistent in their positions, in their stands, the stands that they take. I've told you, Ruto's position today is purely for winning his seat in 2027. Nothing against William Ruto, nothing about these things you're talking about. It's about aligning with Gachagua, get back your seat. Yeah, but someone cannot come to TV and tell you that, you know, yesterday this was possible, but today I've changed my mind. And therefore I'm the best politician in town. That can't stand, in my opinion. It's a wrong way of doing politics. It should not be encouraged by the media. That today you take this position and then tomorrow you come and tell the whole nation that, you know, I'm allowed to change my opinion. It doesn't matter what I said yesterday. Then what kind of leaders are we going to be? Number three is the issue of development of the country. And all of us in Parliament, Manzo and I were in Parliament, National Assembly, you know, for 2 terms together. And he knows this. And our Constitution talks about how you're going to run the country. But Trevor, if the president of the country cannot use the budget tool as a means of implementing the manifesto, then why should you run for president? Why is your party leader running for president? Because he has ideas. He says, you make me president, I'll do 1, 2, 4, 3, 5 things. He's not going to be doing that with his personal money. You use the budget is a tool that the party that's elected to power uses to implement the manifesto. And that's why we have parties in committees in Parliament where a president and his party would want to control the committees that do the budgeting. That is how politics works. People would want to have their own cake and eat it at the same time. But Ruto, by the way, I don't mind if I contradict anybody. But the position that the committee chairpersons in Parliament are decided by the parties. The parties will tell you, and this gentleman here is a very serious party member, and he knows how we elect party chairpersons and their vice, how we decide who is the majority leader of a party. Parties caucus within themselves, and they decide that so and so would be. And just on the issue said, I was in the budget committee when we made Ndindi Nyoro the chairperson. We went for a party PG at State House and decided that Ndindi Nyoro is going to be a chairperson of the budget committee. That's the way it's done.
Okay.
The Honorable Okello there, for a long time, you know, ODM would then choose who becomes majority leader, the minority leader, the chairperson of PSC. These are done at caucuses of the party. Okay. Once it's done at that caucus, then the person who is told is going to be elected then would pick those papers for nominations. Sometimes let's not try to, you know, win small political points just because we are on television. And finally, on this particular issue, I just wish, personally, that the mountain goes easy. Let the president do his job. And the president himself has said this. He said, why are we pacing up and down? Yeah. Let him do what he promised. Come 2027, if you don't think he's done a good job, yeah, vote him out. That's what the president has said. Okay. And so we should not, you know, try to work as if tomorrow the world is ending and that if William didn't become president again, the world ends. It doesn't work like that. Okay. Yeah. And speaking of 2027, let's talk about something here. The CDF, Kariri and NIS boss Nordin Haji just last week kicked up